Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And before we get started on everything, I wanted to go ahead and tell everyone welcome for coming in. Told everyone about this interview. I think you're going to enjoy it so much. So welcome, Liberty Bleeds Silver, aspiring alchemist, one of my awesome mods, Amy Harrell, who's been with me for a long, long time. Wrong Spencer, Niels Han Dynasty, who's always here for all the live streams. Thank you all for coming. I'm hoping we'll be seeing more here in the extreme near future. So I have a very special guest for you. Like many of you, I believe in stacking precious metals for my personal preparedness and the preparedness of my family. How much is enough? After stacking, how can I spend it? We have options. To explain the benefits of Alpine Gold Exchange and the United Precious Metals Association, we have here Dennis Keating, the Director of Channel Sales, is joining us to discuss how to be best prepared, how to utilize your precious metals, and especially on a daily basis, and how to preserve our wealth. So welcome very much, Dennis, and thank you for coming and agreeing to be my guest today.
Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate being welcome to the jungle.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've got so much going on in the world. It doesn't seem like I can open my social media and not come across current events and some great global instability right now. Seems like
so true.
You know, there's wars, rumors of wars, taxes, tariffs, deficit spending. All of these things lead to inflation. We can look at the long history, and we know from those same historical records that gold and precious metals historically outpace inflation and protect us against the declining power of our dollar.
So true. You know, we've seen major jumps over these last 4 years, and I've only been stacking for 4 years.
Yeah, it's I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think it's just going to get worse. Deficits aren't going away, taxes aren't going away. As one war seems to be resolved, 10 more seem to sprout up. So with all this global instability, we can see in the markets today how individuals and even sovereign nations are stacking and hoarding their own gold reserves.
Yeah, and then that it's also increasing the price because they're stacking faster than us little guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the beautiful things about precious metals is it's a limited quantity. So as more people want it, prices definitely tend to rise. Now, I understand, Lewis, you're quite the stacker, and so are many of your followers. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. The whole community that I'm involved with is a combination of stacking. Some are collectors, some are numismatists. My buddy Frostbite is a numismatist. He hits more on that aspect. But basically, most of us are a combination of stackers or collectors. I would think very few of us are straight stackers. And, some people will argue, that GoldBacks isn't quite stacking. To my viewpoint, it's a pawn on the chessboard. It's stacking, but using it as a pawn. And as I've said before, you'll run the merchant number one, who wants only constitutional because he understands that, constitutional silver on purchasing small things. Merchant number two, who knows nothing about it, wants something to say silver. And then got merchant number three, who doesn't want any of that silver, who wants your gold. And I'm not going to give him a big hunk of gold for small purchases, which is where the GoldBacks is my pawn in bartering for goods and services that are not that much in price.
That's a good analogy. I've been stacking for a couple of decades, and like everyone, I just started with junk silver, and then I kind of moved on as my ability rose to some gold coins and whatnot. And as gold continues to increase in value, and as things continually progress um, and become more stressful and more dire, gold's just going to keep going up in value. So how in the world do I break a 1 ounce coin when I've got $100 worth of groceries and a $4,000 coin, or even $100 dollar? So when I found GoldBacks, it was revolutionary. It was really eye opening. Here I've got a $4.50 half Goldback at today's rates that I can easily go in and get a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs, right? And so it's very fractional. I know that there are some naysayers that the cost of Goldbacks is too high, or it doesn't fairly compare to the gold prices. But whenever we fractionalize something, the cost goes up. I pay far more for a pint of milk than I do a quart of milk. And a quart of milk costs me more per ounce than half a gallon. And half a gallon costs me more per ounce than a gallon. And I'll tell you, a gallon of milk costs me more per ounce than a truck. So as it's broken down, there's just a simple cost of manufacturing. The good news is that Goldbacks retain their value. If they cost me $8 today, I can spend those same Goldbacks. They've got an $8 value. So there's no utility loss in that fractional size. It just gives me the ease of use between myself and merchants and giving them as gifts. I keep enough at home where I'm comfortable and don't feel that I'm at risk. The last thing I want is somebody to show up on my front door knowing I stack gold and silver. So I feel safe. I've got enough. But what do I do with everything beyond enough? And
What do you do?
well, that's where the United Precious Metals Association comes in. The United Precious Metals Association is a nonprofit organization. We have played a key role in changing legislation across the country. The state of Missouri just passed their sound money legislation. We played a role when Florida passed theirs at the end of last year. We started when the state of Utah passed their legislation in 2012. They were the first state to pass sound money legislation back in 2012. And to date, we have 17 states now that have followed suit, and you can use precious metals as legal tender in all of those states. There are another 9 states that currently have it in some form of legislation committee, waiting for votes next year. So the world is moving. Everyone's concerned about the dollar and the value of the dollar, and what will my dollar buy next year compared to what it bought last year.
Yeah, I think not only with the price of increasing Goldbacks, but the price of just any precious metals, especially this year. It's been a wild ride.
Yes, silver really wasn't too far behind. We all knew it was going to come. We kind of just kept waiting for the spring to get wound enough, and then silver, man, it's been on a burn for the last 6 months. So that's exciting to see.
Yeah.
So what UPMA allows members to do, membership is free, but it allows members to vault their excess gold dollars, silver dollars, and Goldbacks in our fully insured, fully audited vaults. If you have a dollar with UPMA, one Goldback, that Goldback is sitting in the vault. It's not fractionalized. It's not loaned or shared. But the United Precious Metals Association offers members some unique benefits. The first of those benefits is that members can withdraw up to $10,000 a month without any charge. So there's no seller's fee. That's
Okay.
a huge concern with metal purchasers is, I pay to buy it and now I've got to pay to sell it. When do I ever get a profit? And so UPMA will let members withdraw $10,000 a month with no seller's fee, which nobody else on the planet lets people do that. We are also the only company in the world outside of India where for as little as 10 gold dollars or roughly $800, you can lease your gold. We have gold lease contracts where you can earn 2% annually. It's paid monthly in gold into your account. So not only is your value increasing, but your volume is increasing as well. And when you go under a lease, there are no vaulting fees, which is a huge benefit when you can vault and you can watch your gold grow. We also have a debit card. We also have a merchant app so you can spend your precious metals at a merchant's place of business or online and simply transfer your precious metals in lieu of the US dollar. We are revolutionizing the world and we're excited to just be a part of the change.
That's not bad. So how do you explain to someone like me who's a straight stacker? I haven't vaulted. I've been thinking about it. But to a straight stacker who's of the mindset of the old adage, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. How does that play with someone who is minded in that direction?
I agree with you, Tiger, which is why I started stacking so many years ago is, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And it was pretty easy to do, especially when historically and generally gold doesn't earn interest, right? Warren Buffett's biggest complaint about gold is that it doesn't pay a dividend and it doesn't pay interest. So he'd rather not hold it. But with the leasing program, when I talk to people that are primarily stackers, my first question really is, when is enough enough? At what point do you not feel comfortable having that much at home? Another benefit to our membership is if you would like your metals sent to you for any reason, we will box them and ship them to you. So you always have access to them. But at some point, when do you get those precious metals to work for you? And how else can you get them to actually grow?
So go ahead. I interrupted. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's all good. So Tiger, you like to stack. My question is, how much is enough? How much do you need to be prepared to protect your family, to protect yourself, to survive? Is it 3 months worth of expenses? Is it 6 months worth of expenses? We do a lot of IRA accounts where people, want some tax savings. They open an IRA or they retire and they want to transfer their IRA, but they want it to be in precious metals. They want to participate in our lease program. Those are monies that they can't stack regardless because they're inside the IRA program. So as long as a stacker has access to the metal and can have it shipped to them at any time, any person I know that loves gold or even likes gold, they like more gold. And so if we can put it in the lease and get it to grow, they like it even more.
I can understand that. So basically what it sounds like is if you have a stack of GoldBacks or even a 1 ounce of straight gold, the interest will pay in the fractionalized GoldBacks.
If the interest will pay in whatever you are leasing. So if you are leasing GoldBacks, your interest is paid in GoldBacks. If you're leasing gold dollars, your interest is paid in gold dollars.
Okay. So when you are leasing, say, a couple 1 ounces of straight gold, and you're 2%.
Correct.
So you're at, let's say, easy math, $4,000 per ounce.
Correct.
And 1% would be $40. 2% would be $80. So what is it? It just goes onto the spreadsheet until it reaches the amount of the lowest small denomination, like a tenth of an ounce, or how does that work?
Nope, you're paid monthly and you're paid in fractional ounces.
Okay.
So if your $40 is your interest, you get $40 worth of a gold dollar.
Okay. And that one goes into a plastic box where the other materials are, or how does that work?
It goes right into your UPMA account, and
Okay.
it's held in our vault. And if you would like a cash disbursement, a wire, an ACH, or a physical delivery, we only physically deliver full coins. Totally makes sense. We can't cut a coin up for you, but if it's less than a full coin, it's a cash distribution.
That makes sense. So let's see here. Let me go on to the next thing with you. You mentioned the debit card.
Yeah, we currently have a prepaid debit card that you can load so that when you're traveling or you want to use US dollars, you can use it just like a Visa card. It's a Visa sponsored prepaid debit card.
Okay.
You can have it automatically loaded every month. You can have it topped off whenever it gets to a certain dollar amount. We just want to make sure that we provide flexibility for our members, because not all merchants yet accept precious metals as payment, and sometimes we still need that digital fiat US dollar.
True. So what metals do you allow your clients to put into your depository?
So the only metals that we currently accept at United Precious Metals Association are US minted gold eagles, gold buffaloes, US minted coins, and GoldBacks. And there are a lot of reasons for that. There are a lot of tax reasons and capital gains reasons. When you spend your gold or US minted gold or US minted silver and you spend it in a purchase, you don't pay capital gains tax on it. Where if you're holding a different sovereign coin or a Cougarand, excuse me, and you sell that or buy something with it, you're still liable for capital gains.
It's good to know. When you say US minted, does that also include your pre-33s?
Yes, if they're US minted, yes. We don't handle the numismatic side of the collectors because we don't have a segregated vault. So somebody deposits a gold buffalo. The gold buffalo is in our account, is in our vault, but we can't guarantee that exact same gold buffalo is going to come out if you walk into a branch and ask for it. We've got 7 branches across the country, New Hampshire, in Manchester, New Hampshire, Delray Beach, Florida. We've got one just outside of Phoenix in Arizona. We just opened one in Star, Idaho. We've got one in Wyoming, one in South Dakota, and we've got 3 in Utah.
Wow.
So we can continue to open branches where we find a large UPMA membership base, where we know that they can use the branch and go inside and transact, where we have a large merchant base where merchants are accepting gold dollars, GoldBacks, and silver. And that kind of predetermines where the next branch goes.
Okay. I'm assuming you got some sort of formula for which you choose which states based upon what you think the merchants of each state would start going towards. And I don't want to ask too deep of questions that might give away your company's secrets. But
Trade secrets, yeah.
yeah, I don't want to breach that area. But is there any way that you could teach the people in the chat here, especially those who are a little bit hesitant? How do you choose the states and the merchants, and what states are on the horizon?
Well, every merchant can join our merchant program. It's free to join. We send a welcome packet. We show them how to use our app so they can convert precious metals to US dollars. It's a very easy, it's very much like Venmo. You walk in, you scan a QR code, and you transfer whichever precious metal you choose to the merchant to pay for your goods and services. We look at several things when we open a branch. The first is we want there to be sound money legislation on the books for the state. We want there to already be existing UPMA members. So we do a big demographic profile. And then we want there to be merchants that are already accepting the precious metals as a form of payment, so that we can service both merchants and the UPMA members. And it's great to be able to walk into a branch and either buy a product or sell, to make a deposit, redeem some of your precious metals. So we want to continue to expand our branch network, but those are really the three primary things that we look at. Again, the state sound money legislation, our current UPMA member base in the region, and our current merchant base in the region.
I'm assuming that's all in your database.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do a lot of database study because we want to serve the most members, as we can. We still would like to, even though UPMA is a nonprofit organization, it is serviced by Alpine Gold Exchange. So Alpine Gold Exchange manages the vaults. We've got 5 vaults across the country. Our primary vault is at our headquarters in Alpine, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. And so we just want to make sure that we can service UPMA members and merchants and do it where it's going to be at least slightly profitable.
That I can understand. So as I understand, not only are you holding gold U.S. minted coins plus GoldBacks, but silver U.S. minted coins, whether they're pre 64 or even the American Silver Eagle.
Yeah, we only hold the American Silver Eagle. We don't do any of the classified junk silver. Anything pre 64, 33s.
Okay. Okay. So, are you allowed to tell us what particular states are on the horizon, or is that a trade secret for right now?
On the horizon for Goldback?
Yes.
Idaho will be released first quarter of 2026.
Awesome.
That coincides with our Star Idaho branch. They're going to re-release Utah and Nevada. With the recent releases, they expanded to the half Goldback, the 2, and the 100. So the series is much broader. So they're going to re-release Utah and Nevada with new artwork and all of the denominations. And then they'll work their way around and do Wyoming and South Dakota and New Hampshire. I do know that the Goldbacks got in excess of $400 million in Goldbacks in circulation at this point.
Wow.
And so they just released a Dallas-Fort Worth Goldback. as kind of a unique project. We had a sponsor in Dallas that wanted one for his city. So every now and again, you'll see a kind of a unique one like that pop out. I know Goldback is working on a mythology series with the Greek and Roman gods. And I know that Arizona will actually be released November 3rd.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's a lot going on.
Yes, there is. And I can't keep up with you guys. For yourself and for people in the chat, when it was the first 4 states, I wanted fractional. I'm a huge fan of fractional. You all know me for that. So I bought 260 of the ones, 10 of the 5s, 3 of the 10s. Let's see, 20 of the 5s, 10 of the 10s, 3 of the 25s, and 2 of the 50s. But I can't keep up with you all. So I changed my strategy because I had a bunch of 1s. And I started stacking a large amount of the halves, because the halves, when they came out, were the price of the 1s when I first started stacking, for the same reason. I want to buy small. And since I'm trying to get my family out of Ukraine, there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed. So having small amounts, dimes and 1/10 ounce silvers and goldbacks, fits my profile. If you guys are in, that's fine. The question I think a lot of the people in the chat might want to know is, with the change of the artwork, can one either choose to A, change over to the new artwork if they're so inclined, or B, like myself, just keep what we got and just use it as straight stacking?
Great question, Tiger. You can always exchange a gold back. You can send in 5 1s and request a 5. You can send in 100 and request 100 1s or 200 halves. So they're always interchangeable, and we're happy to do that. One of the things is, whenever a state is issued, it's issued with what's called an alpha series. And the alpha series, for example, for Florida, we just issued Florida less than a year ago, and all of the alpha series have been distributed. So now they will come out with either new designs or simply non-alpha series. And those alphas do become collectible. You can go back and Google search Utah Alpha Goldbacks, Nevada Alpha Goldbacks. So they do become collector's items, as well as maintaining their gold value. It's kind of like a numismatic gold back, right? Which year did I get, and which series did I get?
It makes sense. So you can either do it straight out, or you can even try to see if you can get a numismatic value. But I'm assuming if it goes straight to Alpine Gold, it's a 1-for-1.
Yes. And we'll happily replace. I have yet to see a damaged gold back, but we're happy to replace those as well.
The only damaged ones I see are people in the community who purposely damaged them to prove that they were actually gold.
Yeah.
And my favorite one of all, I don't know if you know this YouTuber. He is a scientist, a chemist. He goes by the screen name SHTF. He took 10 of your 50 goldbacks, cut them up into itty bitty pieces, completely burned the polymer to smithereens, put them through all the acids, and put out a half ounce bar, which is what it should have been. It was slightly over, which is good. It meant that you guys were doing things right, and produced a ½ ounce gold bar. So I can tell you that I enjoy when I watch him do things like that, and it just proves that these things are for real.
Well, an interesting thing when Goldback manufactures those, as the YouTuber showed us, they always put a little more gold than what's stated, because they don't want anyone to ever come back and say, it didn't have enough gold, or it was falsely advertised, or for whatever reason to think that they didn't get exactly what was stated on the GoldBack. So it's very important for GoldBack and GoldBack's integrity to always produce them with a little bit more.
Yeah, I do the same thing here when I pour silver. I just pour a little bit more, or maybe stamp it a little bit less than what it is.
Right. Just a little bit, just so it doesn't come back to bite you, right?
Exactly. Now, one of the things that you were talking about is getting states to have sound money legislation. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm friends with a particular attorney. I mentioned you to him before. His name is Chris Pritt. He was part of the West Virginia legislature. He did 2 terms in office. He's thinking about getting back into legislation, and I hope he does, because he has 2 bills sitting on the floor gathering dust. I did an interview with him about a year plus ago, and anybody who wants to see that, go see that. It's broken up into a 3-part interview, and I'm hoping he gets back in, because he's a firm believer in sound money. He wants to see that here. He's not a big fan. I shouldn't speak for him, but in my opinion, he's not a big fan of stablecoin and CBDC, which sound money, GoldBacks, Citizens for Sound Money, in my opinion, definitely opposes. So, I'm kind of hoping he's going to decide to go back into legislation. He's still debating it. He's got a wife and kid that he wants to spend time with. But, if he does get back into it, would you be willing to let me introduce you to him and let you guys talk, and maybe even on top of that, have a three-way live stream on topics that you all are interested in?
More than happy to talk to anyone who wants to promote sound money. We work very closely, UPMA and Citizens for Sound Money. We've got several different groups that across the country that are promoting this and want to get their legislation changed. It's becoming very prominent as gold is in the headlines, as sovereign nations are hoarding gold, as people are concerned about inflation and the lost purchasing power of their dollars. It's really top of mind right now, and it's a pretty easy bill to at least get legislators to talk about. We've got some states that still tax capital gains and sales tax on gold. We're trying to get that changed. Vast majority don't. So there's lots of moving parts, but whatever we can do to promote sound money across the country, we're behind it 100%.
That's good. In our state in 2019, before I even found out about sound money, they got rid of capital gains. Got rid of capital gains, and they got rid of sales tax on precious metals. So we have that in West Virginia, but I would love to get it done the rest of the way with sound money and GoldBacks, and it being recognized as an alternative currency in the state. And I'd be willing to be as big of a participant as you all will let me be.
And that's a great offer, Tiger. And I'll open that offer up to any of your listeners that want to become active in promoting sound money in their individual states. Please reach out to us if they have a contact with a senator or a representative that we can start discussions with. As I mentioned, we've got 17 states now that already have legislation. We've got 9 that are working on it, and we're gonna just roll the country with smart, sound money decisions.
I totally am in with you. I want to jump on that ship as soon as you guys will let me. And speaking of which, if I may say so, Dennis, let me inform my viewers. Dennis has been so gracious enough to offer me a chance to be part of his affiliate program. So if you all decide to buy GoldBacks, your choice. If you want to, great. If you don't, that's okay too. You all have your own stacking strategies. But if you do, and you mentioned Tiger, then a little bit of money might come back to this channel and help me offset some of the expenses that I have. Dennis has offered to give me a QR code, which I'm hoping to learn how to put into the computer. If you all decide you want to do that, no pressure. You do you, I do me. But if you so do, and you mentioned Goldbacks, they will. I mentioned Tiger 2 Goldbacks. They'll, go ahead and send a portion of those proceeds to the channel. If it's okay with you, Dennis, I've been getting some questions here. I'll put them up if you want to.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. And while you're doing that, we do have a really strong affiliate program for affiliates across the country. And there's a 2-track process on this. The 1 track is spendable precious metals. How do we get it into currency? How do we get it circulating, whether it's gold dollars, silver dollars, goldbacks? How do we circulate this and do it privately, right? One of the beautiful things about UPMA is transactions are all private. There's no credit card history. There's no written check history. It's a private transaction. And then the second part of our track is how do we show people how to preserve their wealth, right?
Yes.
I was talking with a UPMA member this morning who had a CD maturing, and we pulled up a chart, and he had earned 4% on his CD, but his CD was buying less today than his original deposit would have bought a year ago. And so we simply talked about our gold lease program and how, had he done a gold lease a year ago, what his value would be. But not only that, he would have 2% more gold. So the first is, how do we spend it? The second is, how do we preserve our wealth so that when we need it 10 years from now, it's actually worth something. So I'm happy to have any of those conversations with anyone in the podcast. Which story? Okay, I'm looking at Ben Stack, and how does the goldback exchange rate work with fiat currency returned back as change? So, just trying to understand that part of the question. So, if a member goes in with goldbacks in their pocket, right, the goldback exchange rate is posted in goldback.com. It has the daily exchange rate. And so if you've got 2 goldbacks and they're worth $16 and your purchase price is only $13, well, then you should get the $3 back in US fiat. All of the merchants are required to follow the goldback exchange rate. Some may discount it just because they've got to ship them to us to create the liquidity. The beauty of our new app is it can all be done digitally. So the exchange rate shouldn't be discounted with the retailer. And for merchants, currently, if they're accepting physical goldbacks, they have the option, 1, to give them as change to other customers, which we fully promote. Their second option is to send them to us for a cash redemption, because we realize small businesses across America still need to pay their rent and pay their employees and pay their bills. And it's that liquidity of the goldback that makes it so viable.
Thank you. And KTM says, do you think we'll see an increased premium on smaller denominational goldbacks?
As far as an increase different than the other denominations, no, they're all a fair representation. If you have 1 gold back at $8, you're going to have a half gold back at $4. They all increase and decrease in step. So we won't see an increase in premium. Currently, I don't think we'll see a smaller denomination than a half. And to be honest, after I had some discussions with Goldback a couple weeks ago, uh, they barely break even, if they break even, on the half Goldback, just because of the cost to manufacture. And that's the reason we don't have silver backs, is just the cost to manufacture, and in the price of silver is so low that we just can't we can't recover that expense. But with gold we can. I don't think we'll see anything smaller than the half.
Yeah, when these first came out, they were, I was understanding the amount of technology you did for silverbacks, especially to decrease the toning, was just amazing.
Well, and the good news with that silver dragon you've got is we are fully sold out of those as of yesterday. So now they are fully collector's pieces.
Oh, I got a way to make it even more of a collector's piece, my friend.
Look at that.
My friend Silver Dragons autographed that for me.
There you go.
Could you imagine what that would come at with PCGS or NGC type of labeling?
Yeah, that's unique in and of itself.
Well, it's a good thing that tigers are more gold colored than silver dragons is. So if you ever make a denomination for tiger stacker, you don't have to go into any special technology.
I'll put that one on the list.
Hey, you can't blame a tiger for trying, can you? See here. Do you think there will be an increase? Oh, I already did that one. Sorry, I apologize. Let's see here. Everybody, put your questions in capital so that I will get them. So, see here. OC Stacker says he went to your Idaho location 3 weeks ago. What else is there?
Well, that must have been a soft opening. Kind of curious what OC Stacker's experience was in our Idaho location. I haven't been up there yet.
OC's pretty well spoken, so give him a chance to say something. He'll take it. Okay. In Missouri's legislation, defense against centralization, the law prohibits state agencies from participating in any federal attempt to confiscate gold or silver or implement. I guess he ran out of space.
Well, Moboy 76, that is a great comment. Missouri's legislation that just passed is the most progressive legislation in the country. And one of the things that we like most about it is exactly that confiscation clause. So the federal government cannot come in and confiscate gold that's held in the state of Missouri. And we're actually looking at an additional vault in Missouri just because of that legislation. So very happy with the state of Missouri and what we were able to accomplish with Citizens for Sound Money and getting that written the way it was written.
Can they actually do that? I mean, my question with that is, can the state law supersede a federal confiscation law? And in light of the fact, and this is slightly off topic, when you have states like Indiana not allowing the feds to come in and clean their cities. Now, they're two different topics, money versus safety.
Yeah.
But can a state's law supersede a federal law in the topic of confiscation?
Well, that's a very good question. And I think it's been a long burning question for not just decades, but centuries, right? Where does federal law versus state law? So if the federal government, cannabis is legal, how can the state restrict it, but states will do? So we always have this conflict of power between the state and the federal government. I am just happy to see it on the books. At least we've got a leg to stand on. But I totally, Tiger, I totally understand your I don't want to say confusion, but just your questioning on which one supersedes the other one. As a kid, I always thought the federal government superseded the state government, but I've seen so many crazy laws at the states levels that contradict the federal government. No one's really stood up to take that to the Supreme Court or to enforce it.
Well, with what we've seen just in this administration, federal judges are in different parts of the world trying to countermand executive orders, one side versus the other side. It certainly makes it a little bit. It certainly makes it a little bit difficult to understand. So I'm not an attorney. I'm not a poli-sci major. I'm just a crazy old ER doctor who likes to wear stripes.
Well, that comes back to just my opening statement. There's so much confusion with tariffs and taxes and instability that now we've got states fighting the federal government. We've got the judiciary branch fighting the legislation branch. We've got legislation and judiciary, concerned about the executive branch, and everything just kind of whirls around the pool, the cesspool of everything going on. That we find peace and solace in stacking some precious metals and preserving wealth.
Okay, and Randy Osborne says, what happens when China's gold corridor of gold vaults makes it to Colombia or Mexico? Or can't? I'm assuming that's crossing over from money to, other things. It's not part of today's chat, so I'm not sure if we need to go there or not.
Yeah, I haven't drilled into China's gold corridor. That's going to give me some homework.
Will there be a Canadian goldback?
We have had a lot of UPMA members in Canada, and I would not be surprised. I think that GoldBacks' first goal is to get as many states issued where we've got sound money legislation. But we've had requests from Australia, requests from Canada, requests from certain countries in South America. So as word is growing, we are having some extremely high level conversations with politicians about bringing goldbacks to their countries. I would love to see a Canadian maple leaf goldback for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too, especially if they're going to be our 51st state. Ha ha.
An interesting thing about goldbacks is with the US dollar, we have greenbacks. With goldbacks, and they made a very conscientious decision, one, to call it a goldback in reference to the greenback, but two, every image on a goldback is of a female, and every image on a greenback US dollar is a male. So Goldback really wanted to set themselves apart. They put a lot of research into the artwork. It's all historical for a particular state, and it's just fascinating when you look at the symbolism and the reasoning behind why they do what they do. The intent has always been to change the world, and we're we started as Goldback in 2019, and the world was a little calmer. We went through COVID, and now we've gone through so many other things just in the past 3 years that it really is a breath of fresh air as people now have an option. Gold. Any other questions there, Tiger?
I'm sorry, Dennis. My wife, who is the dog trainer in the family, is not monitoring the dogs. Her job is to keep the dogs quiet whenever I do a live stream. And she just texted me she went to Walmart. So I had to on dog police duty. So I do apologize to everyone. I hope you all didn't hear me yell at the dogs. You probably did. I'm a little bit loud.
No worries.
I know OC Stacker put a comment in. I'm trying to find it. OC, would you put it in again? Here we go. Here we go. My best friend moved to Star 5 years ago, so went for a visit. Nice, clean, new location. I don't think that's a comment that I was being told that I missed. So OC, if you can put it back in, I've been looking for it, but between monitoring the chat and everything, I and also having to police the dogs, I kind of got a little bit sidetracked.
Hey, OC, I'm curious why your business was declined as a Goldback merchant.
Maybe that's the comment.
Tiger, if you could just post my email address, and OC, shoot me an email with your business name, and let me look into that.
I might have already put it in there. Let me just check. No, but I will. I'll put the email in there, down into the description down below for OC and everybody else. It is in the last comment. OC, is that this one here? It said, my best friend moved to Star 5 years ago. I got to thank you. So maybe we covered it already. So I think maybe we got it.
Good.
Okay. Good question. When is Goldbacks going to Europe? You guys do all sorts of other type of foil type of gold for different organizations, not just here in the States. So I'm assuming some of them are outside of the country.
True, and we've got several members in the UK and a handful in Europe. The one good thing about a Goldback is, regardless of the state or regardless of the country, it is still, one Goldback is 1/1000th of an ounce, and it still has a daily rate. So you can spend them anywhere. You can spend Nevada Goldbacks in Kansas or in Iowa or in non-Goldback states. There is a value in the Goldback because it is physical gold. So just because your state doesn't have a Goldback doesn't mean that there aren't merchants in your area that are signed up to accept them. The best way to find a Goldback merchant is to go to goldback.com, and put in your zip code, and it will show you everything in your area, everyone that will accept Goldbacks as a form of payment. With our new app, you're going to see a lot more online retailers who will accept Goldbacks online, which is going to, one more step to revolutionizing the world. Some will already accept crypto, but we'll be the first company through UPMA to let retailers accept precious metals as a form of payment.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're very, very excited about it. We're very excited about everything. I mean, every year it seems like we've crossed more milestones, only to find 10 more the next year. And this year has been so revolutionary that I can't wait for next year to see what states, what countries come on board, and really explode exponentially. We're on the crest of the wave of the sound money movement, and all of the momentum behind us is just growing.
There for a moment, I had a link that Frostbite put in the chat. Frostbite's my partner on a stream we do every 2 weeks called Stack Collector, a combination of me being a stacker, him being more of a numismatist and collector. He's an excellent researcher. And I'm assuming he put that in there. Here it is. I put that in there when I said I'm not really that much of a poli-sci major, and I don't understand how states and feds can go ahead and interact with each other. So, Frosty, if you'll do me a favor and put that link back into the chat, and I'll try to post it on there for people to go look at, myself included. Yeah, I'd be real grateful about it.
One last piece of advice. If you signed up to be a Goldback accepting merchant at goldback.com, please go to UPMA, open an account, a business account, and apply to be a merchant as well. The goldback.com site is great for physically accepting Goldbacks in your store or place of business. The UPMA site will allow you to accept them digitally. And there are huge benefits to accepting them digitally, because then you can, the merchant can simply request a cash distribution and have the funds wired or ACH'd or a check sent. So we are currently working with Goldback to align both of our merchant stores. So all of our merchants will be listed on their site and all of their merchants will be listed on our site. But just because you're listed on our site, if you don't have a UPMA account, then you won't be able to accept precious metals digitally.
Oh, wow. That sounds very interesting. It's certainly a little challenging for me, being more of an old school type of person about holding. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around everything digital.
Well, that's what people said, 40 years ago when Diners Club started the credit card. It took them a while, and now everybody's digital. So this is a different side of the coin.
I might just have to, go in on the shallow end with all of you on the whole digital thing and test the waters and try to get my head wrapped around it, because, being an older tiger, I kind of, I'm one of those guys that I can never remember how to drive somewhere unless I drive it the first time.
Well, we're here to teach an old tiger new tricks. And that's the best recommendation. Open a UPMA account. It's a free membership. You can choose to, with your account open, go through the dashboards, go through all the things you can do. Test the waters out with $10 or $15. Buy Goldbacks, sell Goldbacks, change to silver. There's just a lot of flexibility, but you're right, Tiger. You don't know until you just kind of get in and play in the water.
Yeah, you got to find out where the gas pedal is and the brake pedal, and where the parking brake is, and you just got to do it. So I think you and I can talk maybe after the live stream or whenever you have free time. I'll jump in on the shallow end of the pool and play in the water a little bit and see where we go from there.
So, OC, which link were you looking for?
OC?
I'm just not sure which. We've talked about a few different links and just want to make sure we get the right one posted for them.
Yeah, I agree. OC's kind of like me. He's kind of old school. He's learning technology. I'm very, very fortunate. I have a wife who's more techie than me, a brother-in-law who's super techie than me, and I got a best friend, Frostbite, who's in the chat, who's super techie, and they help me through the problems I experience. My email. He wants me to check my email. Let me see here. I don't see anything in my email. I'm looking, but I don't see anything staring me in the face as of this moment.
You had posted my email in the description.
I will be posting his email in the description. I didn't put it in there yet, but I will.
Maybe if you put that in the chat as well. It's Dennis at alpinegoldexchange.com.
AA, would you type that in there for me, please? I'll put it in as a post.
Doing it now.
Let's see here.
And I do look forward to talking with anyone and everyone. We can go through the benefits of UPMA. We can go through how to sign up and become a merchant if you've got an online store or a physical store where you provide a service. We can talk about the weather. I'm pretty flexible, so just shoot me an email and we'll get something scheduled. I generally respond with a link to my calendar, just so that we can all be on the same page. I will go ahead and post that link here as well. Just if somebody would like to schedule some time, I am always make myself available.
That's true, guys. I mean, I've talked to Dennis intermittently for the last many weeks. So, he's made himself quite available. So, especially for all of you for today. So I posted that into the chat. And I hope that you all will be able to get to it. I'm going to try to put that in as a pinned message. There you go.
Perfect. Any other questions I can help with, Tiger?
Let's see here. We've covered a lot. I'm certainly grateful you're willing to let me introduce you to Chris Pritt and let me get involved with Citizens for Sound Money and GoldBacks and getting sound money in here. The affiliation program we certainly talked about, and I certainly want to explore on the shallow end of the pool, being able to see what happens with the leasing program, so I can, because I play with stuff all the time. I did a year's worth of cryptocurrency just so I could report back to the community what I was experiencing. So, and I got out because it's too volatile. But I do it just for fun. If I make money on it, that's just additional. That's an additional benefit. Here's a cute one.
My favorite gold-back design. Man, there are so many. I really like the Florida gold-back with the women flyers. And I don't know if I can post it or not. But it seems like every time they come back with or come out with a new design, it's one of my favorites. There's always one that pops off, and the $50 Florida goldback,
okay,
is probably just one of my favorites as far as overall message. And I don't know if I can post it in the chat or not.
I think, in my opinion, and I also can say this from my friend Frosty, who is, like I said, not the biggest goldback lover, but he has at least one Florida, 5 gold back with the really hot pirate girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this thousands of times. I'd let that girl make me walk the plank.
You know, the half gold back, the Oklahoma half with the female cowboy is a pretty cool one too.
Yeah, I have her kind of covered up right now, but yeah.
So they're all just so unique. Everyone is so uniquely beautiful, and I just I'm always amazed that the artists come up with what they come up with.
Most certainly. So
the advantage of the goldback versus regular money. I'll give you a personal example. Just last year, 2 years ago, I bought goldbacks at about $4 a piece. Last year, eggs here in Utah Valley, I was spending almost $6 a dozen for eggs. And my goldback was worth a little over $6. So as inflation goes up, it's kind of what I tell my kids: spend your dollars, save your gold, because your dollar is going to be worth less next year than it is today, but your gold's going to be worth more. So spend your dollars, save your gold. And I find that just to be true across the board. So I don't think that goldbacks are going to replace greenbacks universally, but I think that within the next 2 years, there'll be close to $1 billion in circulation, and the more that is in circulation, it'll start to have a life of its own. We're already at critical mass. We're already big enough to continue growing. I think we're going to continue growing exponentially, and I think it's as much people spending it as it is even more so people saving it.
Well, like I've said many times, this I'm saving, so when things go bad, and greenbacks is no longer any good, which leads me to another question. I've got this when they want to accept silver. The question I've got is when greenbacks are no good, do you think the stable coins or the CBDCs are going to be widely accepted before we get sound money, including goldbacks, into our system, and we can tell these people who want digital everything, we'll say, no, we're big enough now that we don't have to play your game anymore.
That's a good point again, Tiger. You know, I don't think greenbacks are ever going to disappear. One of the things that we enjoy relatively to the rest of the world is low inflation. I've got some authorized partners, you know, in Bolivia where they're going through 20% inflation a month, and they can't wait to get their hands on goldbacks because that's the only way they can, you know, retain their value, their spending power. So what's going to happen here? My projection or perception is that inflation is going to start really getting out of control because we're going to have to start offering higher interest rates because our debt is so high. We're going to have to offer higher interest rates on our bonds, which is just going to start a snowball effect, and inflation is going to be out of control. And when inflation is, you know, 5% versus a month versus 3% a year, people are going to want to know how to preserve their wealth and their spending power. And the first option is going to be precious metals, and goldbacks are going to fit that to a T.
One of the things that was mentioned, you know, in one of my other friends' live streams, actually, quite a few years ago, she did a video where there was a young lady in Venezuela who walked in with a paper $1 billion bolivar, which is their dollar, wanted to buy some groceries, and the merchant said, "Oh, no, 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 you can't buy that anymore here. You can't use that anymore." And she wasn't using it as currency. She had it all folded up. It was an envelope. She unfolded the envelope and dropped in a little tiny pebble of gold. They weighed it and let her have her groceries.
Yeah.
It's getting so bad that that little tiny pebble is going to be worth a lot of money compared to groceries. So I'm kind of thinking you all are going to be starting to be requested to go in multiple different countries, especially those with hyperinflation.
Yeah, we're seeing huge demand there. Some of the issues with hyperinflation countries is legislative wise. They won't let you bring gold into the country, or they'll only let citizens spend so much money on a credit card every. I mean, it's amazing some of the restrictions in other countries on what you can buy, how much you can spend. What they'll let you ship in. So we're working, around all of those as much as we can. I really like the one question. Tell me the disadvantages of GoldBacks. GoldBacks' disadvantage currently has been liquidity for the merchant, in that a merchant accepts it, but a merchant has to pay their bills, and they've got to pay their bills in US dollars. So how does the merchant create the liquidity? The first option is the merchant gives the gold back as change and starts to increase the amount in circulation in their local community. And a lot of people like them as change, at least one or two, because they're so unique and they're so beautiful. But the biggest disadvantage has been, what if that merchant has got $5,000 worth of GoldBacks and he needs $5,000 in cash, and now he's got to mail them to us, and we've got to get the money back to him. So that has been probably the biggest disadvantage to the GoldBack and the GoldBack as an ecosystem. Now that we've gone, we're opening more branches to primarily, besides servicing UPMA members, is to create liquidity for local merchants. So they've got an easy place to exchange their GoldBacks for US currency. But now with the digital platform that's just rolling out, we've just fixed that liquidity issue, at least on a digital level. We haven't fixed it for 100% on the physical side, where people still come into the store and want to spend their GoldBacks. So we're working on that. Again, we like the merchant to give it as change. That's an easy way for them to convert their GoldBacks to currency. I can't. There are some things in the works that will greatly magnify the liquidity of GoldBacks here, hopefully by year end. That we hope to make some announcements on at that time. So that's probably the biggest disadvantage to GoldBacks. Biggest advantage, especially this time of year, GoldBacks are the perfect stocking stuffer.
Ain't that the truth?
For $8, throw it in a stocking. Pass them out to all the nieces and nephews at Christmas dinner. You'll be amazed at the reaction you get and the conversation you have. I use them a lot when I tip people at restaurants, and I always ask them, would you like your tip in cash or gold? Always a great conversation. They have no idea what I'm talking about, and I show it to them, and they at least want one or two in gold, because they're that unique.
I've done that as in Christmas cards for the ER nurses that I've worked with every Christmas.
Yep.
They're like, "What's this?" Opens up a great conversation. Some of them listen. Some of them think I'm kooky. That's okay. They can think I'm kooky all they want, because when the kimchi hits the fan,
Yeah,
we're gonna be better off.
yeah, yeah. No, especially the half gold back. I use those quite frequently as gifts and as just talking points. Whenever I can talk to anybody about sound money, right? It's $3 or $4 well spent.
Exactly. In fact, I'm going to do something different in this live stream than what I have done in other ones. Dennis, normally when I hit 25 likes, I'll give away a silver quarter.
Nice.
And this time I'm going to go ahead and give away. What's a silver quarter going for now? About $10.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll give away. I'll give away a one gold back this time for every 25 likes. And I know we're coming close to an hour and 20 minutes. And if I'll go as long as you want to go, or I'll go as short as you want to go too. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and give away a one gold back for every 25 likes. And if we get up to any super chats that exceeds $100, I'll give away an ounce of silver on top of that. So, if you're going to do anything, do it now. Because I realize that Dennis has got a family and everything to get back to. Plus, I do want to get a little bit into the leasing program to at least test it and report to the viewers what my experiences are for those who are a little hesitant to do it themselves.
Yeah, no, let's do that. Let me one closing comment. Every stacker is stacking for an emergency. They're stacking, when everything hits the fan, they want to be ready, they want to be prepared. The second best way to prepare yourself is to get merchants in your area already on board, already familiar with goldbacks, and already accepting them. Then when it hits the fan, you've already got a network of merchants will take your gold back or your gold coins as a payment. If it hits the fan and you've got no merchants that have ever seen a gold back or ever thought about precious metals or taking it as payment, it's just going to be a longer discussion. So the best way we can prepare is to let people know about the fractional gold and the goldbacks. And the next way is to get merchants already on board, already accepting them, so that when it does hit the fan, you've already got a network of places and people you can go to and get what you need.
Exactly. One of the biggest things we need in our stacking community is to expand our community. And we need more and more people to see this as an alternative currency, not only in in the regular community, our neighbors, but also in the merchants. Because in West Virginia, the only time I've seen goldbacks is when I've gone to my local pawn shop, which in our area is the best coin shop in the area. But when I get a chance to, I'll buy it from her.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to have happen is to be able to walk in and see signs that say, we accept goldbacks. The other thing I wanted to bring into you is, let's say we can get Citizens for Sound Money helping Mr. Pritt get into office, helping goldbacks help Mr. Pritt get into office, and goldbacks are accepted. How far do we have to go to get, a goldback brick and mortar place, say like in New Hampshire or Idaho, where they can come in and do their exchanges physically?
Yeah, it's Definitely doable. It's just a matter of let's cross all the bridges and make it happen.
That makes sense.
First, let's get the sound money done, and then it
You
becomes
betcha.
a viable discussion.
You betcha. Okay. Okay. So I've covered all my questions. Has everyone covered all theirs? Oh, there's one. That one I think is an important one. What makes Goldbacks better than 90% silver?
Good point, and that is, from my perspective, gold has an immediate perceived value historically. 90% silver, if you're talking, like junk silver, 90% silver coins. I think it becomes just a longer debate in the transaction as to the value of the 90% silver. I think that the gold-backed transaction, when you know that there is a stated price, it's much easier to delineate the value of that gold back versus the value of 90% of this dime or this nickel. Now we're going to weigh it, and then we're going to multiply it times 0.9, and then we're going to multiply it times the price of silver. Just becomes a little more arduous.
Makes perfectly good sense.
Good question. I've never received that question, and I've done probably 100 different interviews and podcasts. So good question.
I appreciate that, Mr. and Mrs. West Coast Stacker. They're a really good couple. I watch them a lot. Very down to earth, meats and potatoes type of people with a lot of intelligence behind it. So thank you for that question. I appreciate it so much.
I love West Texas. I spent quite a bit of time in Brownsville and McAllen and Harlingen and all through the southwest of Texas there. So beautiful country.
I have a lot of friends in Texas. I absolutely adore those guys. That's when I was traveling through one of the airports. I think it was Lubbock. I went ahead and bought myself a Texas hat. So we're almost at 1 hour and a half. Let's go ahead and start harvesting the names. So those of you who haven't heeded my warning about me harvesting the names, you need to get into it now, because once I make the announcement, I don't dilly-dally. And we are currently at 45 likes. So that's going to be one goldback being spun off to one lucky winner somewhere.
Nice.
And considering how many people we got from Texas here, there's probably going to be a Texas winner. So here we go, harvesting the names right now. Okay. And we're going to bring up the tiger wheel. Unlike my dear friend and mentor, Yankee Stacking, mine's not broken, although he broke mine a long time ago, Dennis. We went ahead and got it fixed through a very nice friend of ours called Professor Rig DeBortis, who is from the University of Yamama. So, so let me go ahead and share that screen. Now, keep in mind, everyone, and I'm not fooling around, that you have 48 hours, 2 days after the name is picked, to send me a claiming email, because I use the claiming email to keep myself straight. If you go past 48 hours, you forfeit the win. So if you want the gold back, feel free to go ahead and contact me within 48 hours. So let's go ahead and put the names in here. I put those darn names in there. Hold on. Let me go back. Let's see. Go back here. Partially minimize. Go back to where the participants are. Control C. Format without pasting. So if member or something like that comes up, we'll go ahead and just cut that out. If my name comes up, we'll go ahead and put it and double the prize. So good luck, everyone. So we'll repeat that. Silver Spurs 420. Congratulations. You won a 1 gold back. Send me a claiming email to thetigerstacker@gmail.com. Oh, Metal Matt, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Gold back shipping, and you might be 50 likes now. I'll check. I got from Metal Matt, some of these gifted 1/2 gold backs, and what a good guy he's been. Let me go ahead and check the likes here. I might have crossed 50. If I did, we'll take care of that. Refresh the page. Yes, we did hit 50, so we'll do one more. And bring up the tiger wheel one more time. By the way, little chirps in the background. We also raise chickens for eggs and everything. So they're too young to go ahead and be put outside yet. But fortunately, the dogs stopped barking. So number 2. Uh-oh, looks like Metal Matt's going to win. Congratulations, Metal Matt. You just won a gold back. And, it's kind of nice because you sent me a few of them, so I appreciate that. Let me go back to our stream. So once again, contact me, thetigerstacker@gmail.com. OC already put it in there. So thank you, OC. Appreciate that. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming to the live stream. I want to thank especially Dennis, who is well-versed in the whole goldbacks. I'm going to go into the leasing program. I can't help it. I like to experiment. Even like cryptos, I didn't do so well with it, but it's okay. I had a great time. It was a good experience. It was an education, and I shared everything with everyone. So please say thank you for Dennis for coming to the live stream and teaching us about his company, his product, how it can help you, the affiliation program. And once again, if you so choose, mention Tiger Stacker. It will help out. I'll be learning about QR codes and put that in here for future reference. You will be getting Dennis's email and everything in the description below. It's currently not there, but I'll take care of that. So, I want to have you all learn about this. If it's for you, great. If it's not, it's okay. If you want to go in on the shallow side of the pool, go ahead. I personally believe in it. So I really want to thank you all for coming, and especially my guest, Dennis. Thank you.
very much.
So, as always, we're going to do the outro. My brother and I worked really hard on this. It's a lot of fun. Please be kind enough to stay for it. It's a lot of fun. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.
Come and join the stream. Gold and silver lovers chasing precious dreams. Collectors, stackers, gather round. History in your hand. Old and timeless treasures from every distant land. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and golden nights, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. A never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Through the gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. The suckers calling, come and be a part. Feel the fire, hear the spark, treasure in your heart.